but I am going to take honk if a kid falls out
Oh,
because
yes.
that is just absolute garbage nonsense. Why does that appeal to some people to think that it would be funny? Like they're
Hey, I'm
just
a
basically
bad
saying like,
parent.
yeah, they're just publicizing that their kids are insane.
I feel like if there's ever a custody battle between parents, there's a divorce and or whatever it may be, they need to go out and look at the car. If either of them has a honk if a kid falls out sticker, they automatically lose. Don't do any of the other proceedings. Just be like, you know what, Dad, you're getting them because Mom has a sticker that she says she might let a kid fall out of her car.
Wakey Wakey, Eggs and Blakey. Welcome back to PM in the AM, a comedy podcast for listeners of all ages. The show that contains the kind of humor to make you laugh out loud no matter where you're listening. Each week we take a deep dive into some of the funniest, most insane topics found on the internet, and we do that by looking at some crazy news stories, by creating brackets about hilarious topics, and just answering some funny questions as well. My name is Porter McNeely. I am joined by the elegant, the amazing, the homeowner, Blake Bushman. Blake, how are you doing this week?
I'm good now. I'm a little disappointed. I didn't think to include the Blakey in the intro myself. I think I'm going to do that every time now because I can never get it right anyway. So I might as well make it about me, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
No, yeah, I actually, this wasn't even my idea, and I feel really bad right now because I can't remember. Somebody gave me that idea this past week. They said, "Why have you done this Wakey Wakey Eggs and Bakey so many times without ever throwing in Blakey?"
Hmm.
And I couldn't even give him a good answer. I was like, you know what? I've just never thought of that. I've never been that creative. So shout out to whoever told me that. And I apologize for being so forgetful. I had a lot on my mind with this great show we have coming up today. And so I think that's probably what caused me to forget. But yeah, like I said, we got a great show coming up. We are going to be doing the ridiculous roundup where we're going to go over kind of one of the big headlines, one of the big things going on. And then we have a bracket coming up in the second segment, and we are going to be drafting the worst bumper stickers. You know, these are the bumper stickers when you see them on somebody's car. They're probably going to be a terrible driver. They're probably going to be, kind of a weird person. So we're going to be drafting those. Should be a lot of fun. Blake, how are you feeling about the episode?
I'm feeling good. The bumper stickers, I'm nervous. I was looking through my list, and I'm not sure how many of these actually qualify as bumper stickers. But if we exclude them, I won't have enough on my list. So we will have to count everything that I have as bumper stickers.
Well, like bumper sticker, like the little window ones as well.
Okay,
I
those
mean,
count?
vinyl things are basically bumper stickers in
Okay,
my mind.
no.
That's how I'm associating them.
Okay. In that case, I'm good to go. Feeling great.
Okay.
I got nervous there when I got thinking about you were introducing what we were doing, and I was like, I'm not sure if I did this right, but as long as we're on the same page there, feeling good.
Yeah, it should be really funny. You always kind of see somebody with a bumper sticker that's crazy, and then I feel like you associate that directly with them swerving over like three lanes without even looking, being on their phone, or just being a complete jerk. And so we're going to get a little bit of each of those different categories as we draft coming up in the second segment. But we're going to get back into the ridiculous roundup this week, Blake. We have the Barbie movie that is coming out, and I think that's something we need to discuss, Blake. I want to get your opinion. I know you have front row seats to the premiere. How excited are you for this movie?
Oh, thrilled. I huge Barbie guy growing up. No, I actually don't even know. I know my sisters because I grew up in a house with three sisters, and I know they had Barbies growing up, but I'm like not even particularly sure if they were still there by the time that I was growing up or not. We were more of a Polly Pockets family, so as soon as the Polly
Okay.
Pockets movie comes out, that's a front row seat for sure. But until then, Barbie, I'll have to see how the reviews are before I pull up.
That's funny you bring up Polly Pockets. I have never, I remember those from when I was a little kid. I also had sisters, not saying that I had any, but another thing that was kind of hyped too was the Littlest Pet Shop. Do you remember those? Did you ever get into those at all?
My sisters are all older, and
Mm.
I don't know if I ever had that overlap or not. I very well could have. I'm not entirely sure. The only reason I remember Polly Pockets is because there was a time that my sister had a date come over, and it was, he was picking her up. They were going out to, bowling or dinner or whatever it was, and she wasn't quite ready when he got there. So she ran downstairs, and he came in, and I was just sitting in there because I was playing with my sister, and she was playing with Polly Pockets, and I was pretty young at the time. And he walked in, and I'm sure he was just faking it to try to be nice because he thought I was into it or something. But he was just gassing up these Polly Pockets. He's like, "What? No way! These are the coolest things ever! Oh man, I wish I had some of these." And he probably thought they were like my toys, and so he was just trying to, bond with me or something. Little did he know the girl he was taking on a date was the one that was playing with these. So that's really the only memory I have. They could have had the my Littlest Pet Shop or My Cutest
I think you're confusing that with
farm
a pony.
animals. I have no idea, dude. My knowledge in children's toys is particularly targeted towards girls, children, not my forte.
Yeah, that's funny that you bring that up. But Barbie was a big deal, and so with the big movie coming out, I did some research, Blake, and I found out Barbie's been involved in a couple of scandals on her own. Don't think that she has a clean slate.
Wow.
So what I
Okay.
want to do is present you with three Barbie-esque headlines from over the years. And I
Okay.
want you to guess which one is made up, kind of like the Two Truths and a Lie news segment that we do. But this is going
Yeah.
to be Barbie edition. And so, without further ado, let me present to you the facts and the lie, and let's see if you can investigate this situation and figure out which one is made up.
All right.
All right. So the first one is one of Barbie's siblings went missing. The next one we have is one special edition Barbie came with a weight loss book. And last but not least, Barbie has only had one boyfriend. Of course, that is Ken.
I mean, I feel like I have to believe the Ken thing. I mean, that's just kind of the brand. You never hear of Barbie and David. So, uh, Ken, I'm going to go ahead and say that one's true. The weight loss one, I know they've like had more Barbies come out, more inclusive. They have, all different types of Barbies now. But if they
Big body
included,
Barbie.
if they included, because they have like, larger Barbies or whatever. If they included a weight loss book with that Barbie, that takes their whole inclusive, body positivity thing and just flushes it right down the drain. And that would be hilarious to me. And the first one was that Barbie's sibling went missing. Did I
Correct.
hear that
Mm-hmm.
right? I didn't know Barbie had a sibling. Does Barbie have? I
It,
mean, okay. Well, I guess she doesn't anymore. If she did, because they went missing. So I don't know how that would even be a headline. I'm going to go ahead and say that the weight loss one is the lie. Oh wait, then I'm
and
saying the other two are true. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with it.
that is incorrect. So this came from a time, and this is real. So Barbie had a weight loss book that included "Don't eat" as a tip in the book. So this was
It-
in 1965, and it was the Slumber Party Barbie, and she came with the book on how to lose weight. So as you can
wow.
see, that is something that hasn't aged well, and Barbie took some flack for that. Barbie was
And
really not being a good influence.
in the '60s, though, I mean that was kind of the thing. That was back in the era of that wouldn't be surprising for that time. So I guess I didn't think back that far. What's more surprising to me about that is I didn't realize Barbie had been around that long. There was
Oh yeah, I
Barbie in the
think
60s,
yeah,
60s.
this was 1965. I didn't do enough research to find out what year Barbie came around or
Huh.
whatever, but yeah, it seems like it's been around for a long, long, long time.
Okay, so which one was the other true one then, or what was the lie?
Okay,
Because
so the next true one
Barbie's
is that
sibling
one
is the
of
lie, right?
no, that is true as well. One of her siblings just went missing. It says that her sister Tootie mysteriously disappeared in 1971. So we can only assume that Stacy, who was introduced in 1992, is Tootie reincarnated. So they
Mm.
just, deleted one of the family members and they never circled back to give us an explanation of what happened. So that's why they're saying she may have been kidnapped.
Well, it makes sense when your name is Tootie. You probably don't sell very well. They're like, we got to get Tootie off the shelves. I mean, it's right up there with Poopy and everything else. Like, why would they like? Hey, what's another name for flatulence? Toot. Throw a Y on the end of it. Put it on a shelf. Like,
It was actually an I too. They weren't even
oh yeah.
they
I
weren't even
mean,
that well versed in bathroom humor.
so yeah. I mean, Stacy's much better. So I wonder if Tootie's like a collector's item now, though.
Oh, probably if you can get your hands on a tootie, it's probably worth. That's probably worth a
That's the
lot.
that's the first time that sentence has ever been said. Getting your hands on a Tootie.
Cool.
That's a first.
Yeah, luckily I'm not Blake's office chair after unfortunately I didn't hit record as he made quite the flatulence into his office chair and I
Yeah.
can only be assured that if he was to stand up we would see stains.
No, that was Tootie. She's in the closet over there.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was the mic picked her up, but she's here. I have her. She's safe. I
Is it better to me to find out that you have a child in your closet? Is that
as I
supposed to
was
be reassuring?
as I was saying that, I was like, that's probably worse of the two options. It's either I ripped one before we started recording, or I have a child in my closet.
I thought the better way of you saying it is I am Tootie.
That too.
Blake grew up to be Tootie. No, but the last one that was actually the lie is because, Barbie and Ken started dating for several decades. And then in 2004, they publicly called it quits. And Barbie began spending time with a doll named Blaine, who was an Australian surfer. Later, she got back with Ken and has been with Ken ever since. So, there
Yeah, Blaine
was.
sucks.
That's just not the best name for a Barbie. I feel like Ken's
Yeah,
much more
I
iconic, and
thought I thought David was a good name, but I had never heard of it. So it makes sense. I've never heard of Blaine though. Like Barbie and Blaine. That just sounds like not a good time.
true. Well, there's some ridiculous roundup for you this week. If you actually go see the movie, you'll have to let us know how bad it is. I can only imagine the Rotten Tomato is going to be pretty rotten, but I guess we'll see. There's probably a lot of fans out there. All right, Blake, let's get into a listener submitted question of the week. And this one was sent in on our listener submission form where you can send in questions. That's on our Instagram bio. Just go there, click the link. It's the top portion of the link, and then send us in your questions, and we will read them anonymously and answer them. So this one is, Blake, if you could only have 3 apps on your phone, what 3 are you going with and why?
Okay, hold on. Let me think. Do you have an answer right off the rip? I mean, this is a big decision for me, so I gotta.
Yeah, so I think, definitely for me, I think the one I use the most is probably Spotify. I think I got to go with Spotify, and, it's got to be Spotify Premium, obviously. So
Mm.
I'm not getting the ads.
Yeah, I mean,
I
if you
got to
only
go
have
with
three
the,
apps, you can afford it. You're fine.
yeah, yeah. I got to go with the texting because I'm
Mm.
a text over call kind of guy personally. Just rather accomplish it via message. And I'm trying to think of like content, probably I'd say YouTube, maybe. I think that's a pretty good one to
What an
be.
absolute just rookie mistake right there. You doubled down on Spotify and YouTube. You only need one. And the answer is YouTube. YouTube is
Okay,
absolutely on my list. You don't
let
because
me.
guess what is on YouTube? Everything that's on
Yeah,
Spotify. Like
okay,
there's
that's fair.
you have
I
three
was
apps.
thinking.
You know what you don't have? The internet, Google. I'm putting that number one. I want Google on my phone.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good one. Okay, because I was like, I gotta get YouTube for the every time I gotta fix something small in my car and I have
Yeah.
no idea how to do it, or my house, the house,
Yeah.
I gotta
You,
go through and watch the video.
you better hope it's on YouTube because you can't Google it. You're stuck.
Yeah,
You're
that's
stuck with
true.
YouTube. I'm going with.
So
I'll go with YouTube, the internet, and TBD on the third one. I'm trying to decide if I want to receive texts or not. I feel like you have to because if I ever forget my password, that's how they confirm it a lot of the times, which could be a real issue. But maybe
he
I'll go
goes
with
with
that.
uh, he goes with Angry Birds as his final pick. he's got to he's got to be able to game on there as well. Now that I'm just thinking like you're really gonna pass up on Spotify and you're gonna listen to 30 seconds of ads if you're trying to listen to music on YouTube.
I'll
You're gonna
pay for a
get
YouTube Premium. You're paying for Spotify
mm,
Premium. They got YouTube Red that doesn't have ads. I'll be able to make a playlist, and guess what? I have the music and a little video to go along with it. I mean, I got the best of both worlds. All the podcasts are on there. I mean, I don't feel like I'm really missing out on anything by cutting out Spotify. I'm a big Spotify guy. Love Spotify. But if I had to cut it out, choose between that or YouTube, it's YouTube 10 times out of 10.
but Google, like, just you're just taking the Google browser, right? You don't get Google
Yeah,
Maps, you don't get all the Gmail, you don't get all that
no,
power.
it's yeah, those are all different apps. But
Okay.
within Google Chrome, I like you can access the maps on Google Chrome. So like that's kind of built in there. So that's that I mean that's included, but I don't have, all of everything. But I can access, my email through the internet. I mean, I feel like you have to take either Safari or Google Chrome. I can't stand Safari, so I will stick with my Google. But I feel like if you don't take one of those, you might as well just not have a phone at that point.
Well, I mean, I'm basically just taking like a one of those phones that has like parental controls is what
Like
I'm doing. I'm basically, you know, I'm sending texts, I'm listening to music, and I'm watching how-to videos to replace a headlight. That's
that
all
is
I'm doing.
that is basically the what is it called? I don't even know it. They have a couple
The
of them
Gab
now, but
phone.
yeah, the Gab phone.
I'm gabbing, baby.
It's
I'm gabbing on this.
you're yeah, that's all you need, bro. Swap in your phone, get a Gab phone, save yourself a few hundo, and
Yeah,
you get your Spotify, your messages, and YouTube. You're set. No
that's
internet
all I
browsing.
need to
You'll
be
have to find
happy.
your computer for that, but other than that, you'll be all right.
All right, Blake, do you think we should do one more listener submitted question or just get straight into the bracket? What are you feeling here?
Oh man, we got time. Let's do one more. We'll be quick.
Okay, so this one also comes in from the link in our bio, Blake. And this listener wants to know what would be the best item for a buy one, get one free sale? Where are
Mm.
your thoughts going right off the bat?
I mean, it's got to be the most expensive item.
True.
So I just bought a house, and so if I could have gotten another house for free with that would be my answer. I would like two houses, buy one get one free.
Blake buys a house and all of a sudden he feels like he's like this is a real estate podcast now. He's like, I'm going to buy one house
Come to me for
and
financial advice.
yeah.
You rent out the second house, and then
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, Blake's got 8 houses, and he's making those little posters on the side of the road that's like, "Become a real estate thing," and they literally just write it with Sharpie, and then they write a phone number, and it's just the lowest effort amount. Like no work goes into it, and somehow people actually call them and pay
do
them to.
do people actually call those though? Like, I mean, I see them everywhere all
Yeah,
the time. But I don't know if anybody has ever been like, oh, you know what? I think I should call that number. I want to see what it's all about.
I mean, I assume they must, but I think we should do that next time you see one. Take a picture and send it to me, and I'll record and give them a ring, and we'll just start becoming these mega hustlers, dude. We'll
Mm.
call every one of these people. We'll become finance gurus, cryptocurrency gurus, real estate gurus, and this podcast quality is going to go
Yeah,
through the roof when we
I
learn
thought
all that stuff.
I thought you were saying that we should put up signs for our podcast, but it just has our phone number. It doesn't. It just says, uh, "Looking for a good time? Call this number." And then we'd like, "Hey, you bored? Listen to the podcast." Uh,
Yeah, I don't think that's the best tagline you want to go with on your sign. I think you might get arrested. I think you're gonna get a call and it's gonna be like, local PD, am I speaking to the good time?
and I'll say, "Yes, you are." Go check out PM in the AM, all streaming platforms. We're on YouTube. If you couldn't choose Spotify and YouTube on your phone, check it out.
I mean, I think that's I think getting a house is a good buy one, get one free. And that's why I think, maybe the only other thing that I could think of would be a vacation. How sweet would it be if you were
Oh,
booking one vacation and simultaneously, whatever vacation company you're booking through is like, all right, we're going to throw in this little getaway as a free perk for booking through us. And that
now
would be pretty sweet.
is it a different vacation though, or is it just the
Yeah.
same? Like you buy a vacation, you're going to Italy. And then they're like, hey, you know what you want? Here's a second vacation to Italy. And it's like, cool. I guess I'll go back. But it'd be nice.
I don't know. Yeah.
Assuming they give me like you can choose where to go,
Mhm.
that would be a pretty sweet deal.
I didn't think of it from that aspect, but I feel like to uphold the rules of buy one get one free, it almost has to be the same vacation, right?
Yeah.
Or does it just
Yeah.
have to be the same value?
I mean, I'm assuming the house is not obviously not the same house, but if it's got to be pretty much the same thing, just down the street or whatever. So it's got to at least be equivalent value, but I feel like it can't be all that different. You can't go to the Bahamas and then win a trip to Alaska. I feel like it's at least got to stay within the same genre of vacation.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely respect that. And I still think that's what I'm going to go with for buy one, get one free, because how awesome would that be? You're planning one thing, you're getting the second one thrown in on the top, and then instantly you have two things to look forward to. The next couple of months are going to be much easier to get through when you've got Jamaica and the Bahamas on the list. I don't even know if that's the same place, but probably not, because I swear I've heard people say they've gone to both or something like
hold,
that.
hold on,
Where
did
I want
you
to go is
the
I want to go
Jamaica
to
Hamas?
Atlanta, the Jamaica Hamas. Yeah. No, have you ever heard of that place called Atlantis?
The underwater city?
No, this is a giant water
No,
park.
no, no. Atlantis is the underwater
No,
city.
no. There's a
You want to
there's
go
a
to a
resort.
fictional place. That's what I'm hearing.
No,
Buy
dude,
one get.
there's a resort
I
in
want
the
to go to
Bahamas.
Narnia and then Atlantis.
That'd be actually a good question for us to answer. What fictional places we want to visit, go on vacation. But no, look this up. It's like a water park, and they'd put the commercials on when I was a little kid. This was like it seemed like the absolute peak of vacationing, and so I'm really excited for you to see this for the first
I'm
time
I'm
because
looking
you're
it up.
finally.
Okay, it's in the Bahamas. I'm seeing. Let me look at
Eh?
this.
It's under the sea. No, it's in the Bahamas, like I
Atlantis
said.
is. Oh, it's the one that has the big slide that goes underwater.
Yeah. See?
Ah, okay. I mean, it is terrifying to be in a water slide because I'm a hefty fellow. If I don't have enough momentum going down, I can stop. And if I'm stopped in an underwater tube and there's a shark swimming around me, that might freak me out a little bit.
Oh yeah. I
You
mean,
gotta. I better hope I get enough momentum going down that slide. Otherwise, I'm gonna be real claustrophobic with sharks
bro,
swimming around me.
this is Atlantis. This is the cream of the crop when it comes to water parks. You're not getting stuck. They designed this thing for
they
excellence.
they oil that thing up. They put you dish soap on you before they send you down to really get you going.
Did you ever go to there was this water park in Salt Lake, and it was kind of ghetto. And I think it's closed now, but it had a slide that you go down, you come back up, and have to get over a hill, and then you go back down into the water. I
I
think it was like
couldn't
Roaring Waters or something.
I couldn't tell you. I don't think I've been.
Well, anyway, that slide was my enemy because I would make it so close to the crest of the second hill before going back down and just, you're
You're
going in a
just
U shape. So you
you're
go
seesawing back and
up, down.
forth.
Yeah. And then they've got like this little door that you kind of like open and you get yourself out and then you have to like walk down.
uh,
I've
I
tried
thought
that
they
thing
I thought
eight
they would just
times.
use a big stick and just push you. Be like, come on, get going, get going.
No, I wish. All I ever wanted to do was make it up over that hill, and I could not. You'd try and catch yourself. Lifeguards blowing the whistle at you because that was against the rules. But
Mm.
for whatever reason, I could not get over that thing.
I'd be worried about being launched off the side of that thing. It's going down and then back up. If it's uncovered, there's a chance that if you get enough speed,
Yeah.
you're crossing the slide and you're going to end up 30 feet below on the concrete.
Oh, at least 30 feet. Yeah, that would have been bad. No, I never thought about that because I couldn't even make it up the stupid hill. But I mean, yeah, buy one, get one free vacation sounds nice, as well as buy one, get one free home. I think we nailed those questions. Let's save up a little bit of time for the bracket we've got coming on right after these ads. We will be right back. And we are back. We've got another morning drive debate this week, and we are going to be making a bracket and drafting teams of the worst bumper stickers. The bumper stickers you're going to see on idiots' cars, when they're cutting you off, driving like menaces, or just being a jerk. So, there's a lot of great bumper stickers or the little vinyl things on the windows that you kind of famous. You see them all the time, and sometimes I just think to myself, like, what kind of person would actually be putting that on their car. Is there any that you thought of off the top of your head like that, Blake?
Basically any bumper sticker, really. I see somebody with a bumper sticker, and I'm like, that's a what a weirdo. I don't know why, because they're hard to get off. This is why I could never have tattoos, because I get bored of things really quickly, and so I'd put this on my car, and then about 15 seconds later, I'd be like, all right, we got to get this off, but they don't come off, and then you end up with a big smear. So half the time, I assume if you have a bumper sticker on your car, you probably don't make the best decisions.
Blake coming out here firing just because we all don't drive a nice 2023 Hyundai.
Oh, I
That
wish.
some of us choose to put bumper stickers on our cars.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that are fine. Like if you have I'd put a team logo on mine. I'd do that just fine. I'm a big Jazz fan. If I could put a Jazz logo on there, I'd do that. Uh, we'll get into the ones that I really mean when I say I'll judge you if you have these on your car.
All right. Well, I think you have the first pick. We're only going to be drafting four each today. We'll be alternating. So go ahead, Blake, and let me know what you're going to take for the first pick.
Yeah, there's really one, and I think it's like this most stereotypical bumper sticker, and that's just anything political, whether that be for a
Okay.
political campaign, political opinion, whatever it is. Any political bumper sticker, I see those, and I'm like, what a moron! Like, I can't imagine, like unless it's my family member, like if it was my wife or my own mother running for it, I'd still have a hard time. Like, I don't really want to put that, because what if they lose? Then you just have
Yeah.
a loser's bumper sticker on your car. I mean, there's still
Yeah. And
people.
that's not coming off.
Yeah, no. I mean, you put if back in 2020, you put a Trump 2020 bumper sticker. I'm sure many people did. You've been driving around for 4 years with somebody who is not the president on your bumper sticker, and then I guess you just have to overlap it with the next one, and got to keep, and then it's just stupid. And they have done, like, there's a whole bunch of them that have stupid opinions and whatever it is. So if you have those, I just automatically assume that if you're that passionate about a political candidate, I just can't trust you regardless.
That's fair. I feel like you see the political bumper sticker, there's probably going to be like 85 more bumper stickers because that person, wants to have a chat with you about whatever their beliefs are. So if you see that person, first of all, watch out because they're probably a bad driver, but also steer clear of them in a parking lot because they're probably going to get out and be like, do you want
Yeah,
to discuss politics? You're
I
like,
I imagine I imagine the person with the political bumper sticker just has the shortest fuse before they blow up and get super
true.
angry. So if you, I mean, I feel like if we're doing a test on the quickest to road rage, the political bumper sticker's got to be up there for either side. I don't care, but if you're that passionate about that, I mean, you get cut off one time and you are probably just rear-ending the person in front of you or getting out to fight them.
I mean, that's a good pick. Number one overall, I think it had to be done there. So great job on that. And I'm trying to decide where I'm going to go here with the second overall pick because I did have politics in the number one spot. So good job on that one. And I think, I have to take one that to me, just makes the person seem scummy. And I think, 99.9% of people that have this on their vehicle are probably driving like a big old truck and it's probably going to be a man. And so I am going to be taking, like the girl with the devil horns and like devil tail
Oh,
silhouette, like the
yep.
scandalous lady silhouette
Yeah,
bumper
the
sticker vinyl things.
the scandalous
Absolute
silhouette. Yeah, that's
the worst. If you want to just associate yourself as being completely trashy, throw a couple of those on your vehicle. Those are terrible. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even understand why people would want that on their vehicle. I don't know if there's some deeper meaning behind it than just being trashy, but I can't really imagine it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't fathom what thought process goes into that. Of like, you know what I like? Women. So I'm gonna throw one up on the back of my car. Like it's a very weird decision, and that's a great pick. It wasn't even on my list, and I don't know how it didn't make it because that's a fantastic choice.
Yeah, I think those should be outlawed. I just feel like it's really weird, honestly.
It is weird. It might not scream like I am a bad driver, but it does scream, "I'm a total weirdo." Like that.
Is there a male equivalent? I don't think I've ever seen like a male with
just like a
devil
just
horn.
like a ripped guy. Well, if it was a male with devil horns, people would just be like, "Oh, that's Satan." Like that's. I don't think it has the same effect. If it's a girl, it's like, "Oh, naughty little devil" or whatever. But it's if it's just a guy with devil horns, it's just like, "Oh, that's the devil." Like that'd be kind of weird to be
Ugh,
driving around with that on the back. So
fair, fair
probably
enough.
not. Great choice though. It did because I didn't have that on my list. The second one that I wanted did fall to me, and I was worried you were going to pick it. And that's the baby on board sticker.
Okay.
Because here's my thought process: when I see the baby on board sticker, I don't know what they expect because it's not. Oh man, I was gonna ram into the side of your car. But now that I saw that, I won't. Like, I'm trying to not hit your car regardless. You having that on doesn't make me change the way that I drive. Besides, I'm going to stay away from them because that means they're expecting everybody else to cater to how they're driving. But so I just am going to avoid them at all costs, which maybe it works. Who knows? I'd like to believe that the kids on board are safe, but I also believe that if you have a baby on board, you're probably in a decent amount of accidents because you just expect everybody else to not hit you and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I feel like that's one that's just super bizarre that that's such a big thing. I think, why don't you just buy the shade things that you put up in your window so your baby's not suffocating in the back seat instead of putting up a yellow, the diamond of baby on
Yeah,
board. It's just
the
it's just bizarre that that's such a
it
popular thing.
every time I see one, you can ask my wife. I always like, oh man, I really wanted to rear end this guy, but now I can't because I have a baby on board. Like it's the stupidest thing. It does not make a difference. So uh, don't do one. I will assume that you can't drive if you have one.
That's fair. Good pick there, Blake. With my next one, I have to take the there's a pretty notorious one that I'm passing over here because really think that the Calvin peeing,
Mm.
whether it's your least favorite sports team, whether it's something political, Calvin's always peeing on something.
Hmm.
And if you put that on your car, I just feel like it's another one that's trashy. You notice I've gone for two of two that are pretty trashy picks, but just kind of a weird thing, and I think we should just move past that and not do those stickers anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many of them that like they blew up. Probably in like the 2010s era. It seemed like they were everywhere. You don't see them as often nowadays, but yeah, it was. And it technically it drives me crazy because it's Calvin, but it wasn't the guy that created Calvin, like the comic strip or whatever else, that did it. It was just somebody who took Calvin and was like, "I'm gonna make him pee on stuff,"
Yeah.
and started selling it. And then they blew up, and it just got to a point where I don't think the like owner and creator of Calvin could really do anything about it because there was just way too many people selling them and making these. And yeah, they you don't see them as much anymore, but it was definitely always a trashy thing. It was like, I'm so tough, I pee on your favorite team or
Yeah.
opinion or whatever it is. So yeah, no,
I feel
great
like you
choice.
slap that on your vehicle, instantly the value has gone down by $5,000. Like it's just automatically tanking the value of your vehicle because you're crazy. And yeah, if you were to like cut off on accident somebody that had one of those bumper stickers, you better run for your life
You're
because
getting
I'm
a
picturing
wrench
that
through your
guy.
windshield.
Oh yeah, that guy's in a lifted truck and he's just gonna monster truck smash your car with you inside. Like he's just gonna
Yeah.
roll right over the top of you. So I'll take Calvin there. What do you got with the fifth pick, Blake?
Okay, I think I know what one you were talking about that you said you were passing on. That's a really popular one. And I want to kind of take a variant of that. And I'm assuming what it is you were talking about the stick family or just any of
Yep.
those. But I want to take the ones that are like berating other people's stick families, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Like
Yep.
there's,
Yep.
for example, Calvin peeing. There's one that's like him peeing, and it's like your stick family, or it's a picture of a car driving through a stick. Like it's all these things, and it
The
just
dinosaur. You're forgetting the
yes,
your
the
stick figure
dinosaur.
family was
Yes,
delicious, and it's a
yes.
dinosaur eating them.
The only thing that I feel like is more cringy than having your stick figure family on the back of that is making fun of those people, because it's just like the first time it happened, it was kind of like, that's clever, making fun of those people. And then it just became more common than having the actual stick figure family, and it drives me nuts. So I don't know how you want to word that, but all of that like category of, you know, whether it's the peeing or the T-Rex or the car driving through them, they're all just so stupid.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think if you're, number one, having a stick figure, but then number two, going to make fun of the
Yeah.
stick figure family, there's probably some weirdness going on there for sure. So
Yeah.
that's a good pick. I did have the dino eating the family. I think that was a really good one. So
Yeah.
props to you for that one.
Score.
All right, let's see what I got here. I have to cross that one off my list. I think another one that just shows you that the people are insane. And there's kind of two that I'm fighting between, and so one will definitely have to get an honorable mention. But I am going to take honk if a kid falls out,
Oh,
because
yes.
that is just absolute garbage nonsense. Like, I don't know why does that appeal to some people to think that it would be funny? Like, they're
Hey, I'm
just
a
basically
bad
saying like,
parent.
yeah.
Like,
They're just publicizing that their kids are insane.
I feel like if there's ever a custody battle between parents, there's a divorce and or whatever it may be, they need to go out and look at the car. If either of them has a honk if a kid falls out sticker, they automatically lose. Don't do any of the other proceedings. Just be like, you know what, Dad, you're getting them because Mom has a sticker that she says she might let a kid fall out of her car. Like, that's
Yeah, she's saying exactly that. She's like, I mean, accidents happen while I'm driving. My kids are climbing out the window. Meanwhile, I'm just eating a snack and driving, and I don't
hmm
even care. So,
yeah.
very hands-off way to parent, I would say. You have to be probably one of the most relaxed, go with the flow people of all times to actually, put that on your car. And but you can just imagine that as you're driving past the kids in the back seat, nobody's got a seatbelt on. They're hopping over the bench seat,
hmm
just punching each other while they're driving. And so, yeah, it's probably better to avoid those kind of people because the accidents that could occur because of what's going on inside the car, probably a pretty good chance.
Yeah, no, great choice on that one. I was hoping that one would slip down to me because that was my last one. I do have a few more, and we'll have to go through some honorable mentions because I think they're worth mentioning. But I'm going to go ahead and end it off with the if you can read this, you're too close.
I mean,
Because
classic pick.
it's a classic, and also I just have good eyesight, so I can read that from rather far away. So also I could be sitting at a red light. Am I too close? No, it's stupid. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that one down. Also, it's typically used by somebody who's driving five under in the left lane, which drives me crazy. It's like, no, actually, I'm not too close. You're too slow. So move over, let us pass. You don't own the road.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some variations of that one as well.
Yeah.
One that's popular is "Do you follow Jesus this closely?"
Yeah.
and
Yep.
other things along those lines.
Yeah,
So,
the one of the honorable mentions I had was, "Do you follow Jesus this closely?" And the closer you get, the slower I drive. Just
oh, that one's horrible.
all of those I had kind of in a bundle. I didn't know which one to go with, but I feel like that if you could read this, you're too close is kind of the most classic one of those. So that's why I went with that one.
All right, with the last overall pick, Blake, I'm gonna take one that might seem kind of strange to you, but for whatever reason, I just find it annoying, and so I am going to be taking the marathon little ovals. It says 26.2,
Mm,
13.1, and for some reason, when you run a 5K, whatever, you don't have to do it, but when you run a marathon, all of a sudden you need
yeah.
this bumper sticker on your car, letting everybody know, and I don't understand why.
Also, the 13.1, it's almost embarrassing. I mean, it's impressive to run a half marathon. Don't get me wrong. I could not do it. I don't even know if I could run a 5K. So don't hear what I'm not saying. Running a half marathon is impressive. Flexing about running a half marathon is not impressive. Okay? If you're going to flex, you have to at least done the whole thing. And then even then it's like, it's cool, but also we don't really care. So
Yeah.
I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know why I should just buy one that's like 126.4 or something and just do a custom
I
on
just
the
want
back of my car.
I want 26.3. Just let them know I'm just a little better than them.
That's actually a really good idea.
Can we got to start selling those 26.3 stickers.
26.3. Yeah, that's actually good. I mean, we were making fun of the parody bumper stickers earlier, but we came up with a good bumper sticker right there.
There are some funny bumper stickers that every time I see them I chuckle. So that's why when I said earlier that all bumper stickers are dumb, I can't say that. I would never put them on my car because I can't do it, but every time I see like the Ted Cruz ate my son,
Yeah,
I
dude, there's
laugh.
some wild
They're
ones.
so funny. I don't know why. It's just like the most random things like that. If I saw a 26.3 sticker,
Yeah, I would die.
I'd get a good chuckle. Like I really want. We got to figure out a way to start doing this before somebody else makes it. I don't know if they're out there, but if they're not, huge business opportunity for PM in the AM right here.
Oh, we got to do that for sure. That's a great idea. But yeah, I mean, there are some, you see the cars that are old, that they've got no consequences of just throwing as many bumper
Mm-hmm.
stickers on them as they want. And sometimes I'm jealous because I see one, I'm like, dang, I'd love to put that on my car, except, I wouldn't love to put that on my
Yeah,
car.
I
So,
I feel like if I had bumper stickers, I'd have to become the person that has just bumper stickers on every part of their car, or not bumper like necessarily bumper stickers, just stickers in general, like the vinyl
yeah.
stickers of
Hmm.
you go to a national park, you can get those, and just I see cars. There's a car around where I live that it's covered. You can't see, you don't know what color the car is because it is covered in the stickers, and every time I
Wow.
see it, I'm like, that's impressive. So if I did it, I would just have to go all in and just cover the thing in stickers.
For sure. That's the only way to do it. And did you have any more honorable mentions, Blake?
Yeah, the only we mentioned the Jesus drive or do you follow Jesus close? The only other one that I had that I really wanted, but it just didn't make the cut was NASCAR. just
There's a NASCAR one?
it's just yeah, like NASCAR
Just the
sticker.
logo?
Yeah, it's just the NASCAR
Okay.
logo.
I mean, I
but
get the humor there,
but
depending on what vehicle you put it on.
yeah, I mean it's either you're a fan of NASCAR, which typically I imagine just some redneck and they're just on the road and just driving like crazy, or they're acting like they are driving in NASCAR and are just speed demoning it through the streets. So either way, NASCAR. I really wanted it. Didn't quite make the cut, but I had to give it a shout out.
Yeah, I think the ones on my list I have here are or the school honor roll. If your child's on school honor roll, I mean,
Mm,
not the biggest accomplishment to throw up there. Coexist. I feel like coexist people are generally bad
mm,
drivers, even though they're just promoting everybody to get along, which is
yeah.
probably a good thing. But I just feel like generally they're always bad drivers whenever you see that one.
Yeah, there's
And
there's just a lot of those stickers that they probably get blanketed in. That I see those probably more than anything else, and
yeah,
so anytime that I see a bad driver with that, I'm like, oh, those darn.
those darn coexisters, they
Yeah.
just want us to get along. Meanwhile, I just want to road rage on people. And last but not least, one that drives me absolutely nuts, and this is more of a rare one, but it's like something along the lines of, I have kids, park next to me at your own risk, or like something about
Hmm.
getting door
Yeah.
dinged. And
Yep.
that one, same with the other one about the custody battle thing. If they have that one, they don't even need to be going through a divorce to lose their kids. Child Protective Services just needs to take them away at that point, because there's no shot they should just be letting their kids door ding people just because they park in spots next to them. That is so dumb.
They're also usually parked crooked, so
Exactly.
they're over the line, and it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's your fault.
It's a
So
freaking minivan door, dude. It slides open and somehow they still door ding you because they parked that close.
they're just like jumping off the side of your car to get into the,
Gosh,
the
yeah,
minivan.
no.
No, great. I actually did remember I had one more that I would have taken probably. I just totally skipped it over on my list, and that's the please be patient student driver, or just any of the
Yeah.
student driver stickers, because uh, nothing drives me crazy more than the thought of, hey, sorry, I'm a student driver. But also, if you can't drive, well, just you shouldn't be driving. I don't care if you're a student driver, because if you're driving on your own, you pass the test. You should be good enough to drive on your own. So that's
Yep.
not an excuse to be able to just be like, oops, my bad. Like, it's stupid.
I mean, that's the only applicable time for the baby on board sticker to actually be used, if you gotta a 16-year-old driving, that's when you slap that thing up instead of the student driver one. Because yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the same thing. It's like, okay, because I put the student driver thing on my bumper, that means I don't have to use turn signals.
yeah,
I don't have to check my blind spot. I can just drive like a maniac, and everybody else needs to get away from me.
yeah.
No,
I
that's
don't care if you're
frustrating.
a student driver. You should know how to drive. Like,
Yeah.
so I would have picked that one. I just totally skipped it on my list, but glad it got onto the pod.
Yeah, so we will be posting these to our Instagram at PM in the AM podcast. So make sure you head over there. We will be posting them on our story so you can vote for which bumper sticker you think is the worst. And make sure to send us in some if we forgot them. And as always, thanks for tuning into the show this week. Blake, do you have anything for the listeners on the way out today?
I do not. Thanks for listening.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Peace out.